All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. So the purpose today is just to go over any questions you may have. Um, the next interim 3, which we refer to as the spring assessment, is, let me just quickly, I think it starts on, I forgot. I know ACT starts on the 7th. Let me just go to the Canvas course. So ACT starts on the 7th. Let's see when the ANet assessment is. Let's see real quick. Here's the schedule. All right, looks like the spring assessment starts on the 13th. So it will be from the 13th through the 29th. That's going to be the spring assessment. Remember, the summer assessment is optional, and it's really for students that are going to, let's say, remediation in the summer remediation. So when we get to the end of the spring assessment, just remember, don't give the summer assessment unless your principal or executive director indicates anything about that. But it's mainly for students who will be going to summer remediation. But the spring assessment is on the 13th, so about a month from today. All right, so hopefully your teachers have completed the scoring for assessment 2. Do any of you have any questions about that or about the data roundtable? I don't know everything about the data roundtable, but I will probably be able to answer some. Any particular questions? I know that some of you have been working on it. Some of you on this call have been calling me about it. Anything in particular? Can y'all hear me?
I don't have a question. Thank you.
Okay. So you completed it. Did your principal, really the data roundtable templates was supposed to be done by your principal, but I understand that sometimes they'll tell you to complete certain parts of it. Um, but if you have anything in particular, I can answer. The Google Sheets document. I'm not sure what you mean, Sharon, by the Google Sheets document. Can you explain that? Sharon,
Yes, I'm sorry. It was taking me a while. We were in multiple meetings at the same time. So it was linked on, and I'm gonna quick look and see if I can't. Our internet is super slow. It's linked on slide 6 of the data roundtable. It's linked at the bottom, and it's a Google Sheets that has the ANet data that is comparing different years and things. So I was just trying to I just pulled it up this morning, but that was the one. Another friend called me on Friday asking about the same thing. So I was just going to see if you had any clarification on that document.
um, what what is this, elementary or high school?
Elementary?
Let me see. Let me just quickly. Um, oh, let's see. Hold on, real. All right. So, oops, wrong one. All right. So this is the elementary one, and then you said which slide? Number 5? No, that's
It was on 6. You were just on it, but if you look in the notes, there's that says sheet 2, that where you hyperlink.
so
That's it.
use Dibble's data chart from sheet 2 of the Google Sheets after you've input your school data. All right. So
But it also on the sheet, it looks like it has ANet data on there as well.
all
I
right. Let's
believe. Yes.
Here they're talking about ranges. Was that what you saw? Ranges?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, the ranges. Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly that's what I'm
Well,
just looking
this.
at. Yeah.
Okay, so this one's Dibble's data right here. Um, I wouldn't know um, where to get that data real quickly. Do you have anything about ANet question?
If you click on the sheets, it actually does have ANet. It has it's
When
that
I go
sheet
to slide
document. Even though it,
6, the one that
if
says
you click
use.
on the click on that back on that document that you just opened, that was the Google Sheets.
Okay.
It actually, for us, it does have it. See, it says ANet interim too.
All right. So I'm not sure
ANet.
why. Okay, but I'm not sure why it's located then with Dibbles.
I don't either. That I do not know. I just am looking at the document. That's the document I was
Okay.
trying to figure out, and that's where I
All
got the
right.
link.
So I was told, if you're questioning how to find the numbers to put here, it looks like these are examples of numbers. So that's not particular to your school, right? So it looks like just some sample numbers. To find those numbers, I was told if you were in Miss Laura Williams or Miss Shalika Scott's region, that they had completed this for your principal. If you are in the Southeast region, Dr. Lacerte, she is going to have a conversation with your principals tomorrow about this particular slide. What region are you located in?
I'm mid-city with Mr. Bradford.
Okay. There.
Michael, can I
Yes.
talk about it?
Are
I
what
think that's the one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss
Hey,
Boo?
Mike.
Miss Boo, are
Yeah,
you what? Miss Boo, hold on. What region are you in, Miss Boo?
I'm mid city with with Miss
Okay. So
Aguilar.
so Sharon, Miss Jones, Miss Boo called me last week and she was having that same question. I told her to have her principal contact the executive director. So Miss Boo, I'm assuming you have information about that.
I talked to my principal last Friday, and she says she will talk to the ED. But I'm looking at that right now. I think that's the ranges. That's the one that we need
Yes,
to
that's
attach
the
in slide
ranges.
25.
Right. So that Miss Jones is asking where to get that information. Um,
Wait, let me open it. I saw it's too small on my.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I think. Wait.
ANet does not have a report that gives those numbers. You would have to pull up a spreadsheet with all the students listed and then filter that way. But your executive directors has a pivot table that they didn't share. I don't think they will share with your principals. Um, and I think that's why Miss Scott and Miss Williams did that slide for your principals, and then Dr. Lacerte's going to have a conversation with her principals tomorrow. The rest of the executive directors, like the Mid-City region, I'm not sure what they told the principal how to collect this data. Ms. Jones, did your principal say anything about this?
She did not. She didn't have anything, but I will. We're in the office, so we're going to contact Mr. Bradford and see what he has to say.
Okay. There is a pivot table that Dr. Trey Earl and Dr. Lemon, who are both director of data, created for the executive directors. And so that's why Miss Scott and Miss Williams completed that slide for their schools, for their principals. I don't know anything else with the other executive directors how they're doing this, but I'm just gonna kind of, and some students' names are going to show up, so it's going to take me a while to edit this. But if you go to my ANet, which is very cumbersome to be able to do, let me have so many things open. Um, Nope, nope. Okay, here, nope. Okay, so I'm going to go to a particular school. What school are you, Miss Jones?
Bernard Terrace.
All right, so I'm going to go to Bernard Terrace, and the only way that you could possibly determine this information is to go to performance, school performance over time by student. All the others is not going to give you anything with this, so you have to do by student. All right, so and then you got to filter up here. So let's just do math. Okay, engage compatible, all teachers, all courses, all periods. Okay, so then you see you have all of this network in here. I don't want any of that. So let me just kind of go to advanced filters and then remove, oops, remove all these check marks. And then we go to Louisiana, and I'm just going to pick Bernard Terrace. All right, so go and update. And so the only information I have would be Bernard Terrace. God, I still have network in here. I don't want network. Let me, well, I'm not sure. Okay. I'm confused as to what network it's comparing me to when there's only one school it looks like that's checked off. Okay, well, so let's just deal with it. So then you'll notice interim 2 right here. You see interim 2, that last column? That's the score for each of those students, right, Ms. Jones?
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
So what you're going to do then, now I'm hoping, see how much work this is? I'm hoping your executive director will have provided this information for your principal. But then you have to go to the CSV file up here, put that in the spreadsheet, then open it up, and you get the spreadsheet. All right. So then you're only interested in interim 2. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these columns here because that is student average of all the interims, network average, student interim 1, interim 2. So I just want interim 2. So I'm going to delete all this, and then here's student interim 2, and there's network average. I'm going to delete the network average. All right, so all I'm left with is this column here, which is interim 2. Then it looks like I'm going to go ahead and delete these columns here because I really don't need those for what you want. And I don't need the student list SID because I just need counts, right? We just need counts. So I can delete all this, delete all this, and oh, we need it by grade level. Is that it? Or no, we.
Yes, it's by grade level, I believe.
Oh God. Okay. So. All right, so then you have to do by grade level, right?
It was by whole school.
Wait, what? Is by all school? Oh, it is by all school, isn't it? Is it by all school? Okay, let me go back here and see. It looks like it's... God, I'm trying to...
It's whole school at the top of the ranges, but then
at the bottom,
at the bottom it asks for grades.
Oh my Lord. Okay. All right, so then we're gonna have to do then is come back here, and I don't need teacher. All right, so I'm left with grade level, but then I'm gonna have to filter by grade level. So I'm gonna go ahead and do data, filter, and then, oh my Lord. Okay. Let me see. So this is by the teacher's name. So I would just want to go by course. So I'm just going to delete this column. So this is the grade level of the student. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and filter this one. So I deleted quite a bit. I'm hoping you don't have to do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and choose grade 3. So all I'm left with is grade 3 math. All right. So then I'm going to go ahead and copy this whole thing. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in a new sheet. All right. And then we're going to filter again now. And I'm going to filter by this column here, the one with all of the numbers. So I think one of the actually you could do this. We could filter, let me just kind of do it this way. We could sort this column from do you want to expand? Yes. So we can sort that column from smallest to high. See what I did? All right. So what was the first? What was the first range? 0 to what? What was the first?
0 to 29.
Okay. So you see, it's going from smallest to largest. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just count. So that is, see at the bottom right here, you have 19. So for Ms. Jones's school for third grade math, there are 19 students that are from 0 to 29. What's the next range?
30 to 39.
Okay, so I'm going from 30 to 39. Oops. So there's 4 students. See that, Ms. Jones? See what I'm doing?
Yes, thank you, yes.
But I'm
Will
hoping
you
you.
share that document with me since you just put in so much work?
Yeah, yeah. Look, I'll save it and share it to you because I don't know how. Yeah, because it's a file that I have to somehow send to you. I would have to save it as a. I would have to save it and then send it to you. I don't think I can.
Oh, it wasn't in Google Sheets?
No. It's not a Google Sheet.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
And then the next one was the next range.
Okay, the next range is 40 to 50.
All right, so you go 40 to 50, and then down here's a number. So there's 8. 8 of those. What's the next range?
51 to 59.
All right. Oops. So there's just one, right? One of those. And what's the next range?
60 to 65. 75.
60, 75. So there's 8 of those, and then the rest is above 75. Is that right?
Yes.
So there's 4 of those. So that's how you would have to do this, doing the spreadsheet. And that's just third grade math. So then you have to come back here, and then go here, back right here. Oops. Here rather, and then uncheck 3, and then do 4, and then say okay, and then all your 4s are there. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy, and then paste on a separate sheet. And so now I'm just left with fourth grade math. Then we'll go ahead and sort these from smallest to largest. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, go to sort A to Z, so smallest to largest, say yes, and then now it goes from smallest to largest. So Miss Boo, can you say the numbers again? So for fourth grade math, it will be 0 to what, 30?
It says 0 to 29.
Oh, 29, all right. Okay, so then count here, so that's 18 right here. It says 18. And then what's the next one?
30 to 39.
So it's like 4. And the next one?
40 to 50.
40 to 50. So there's what, 5? And then,
51 to 59.
so 2. And then 60 to 75.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5, and then 1 for the rest. So, Ms. Jones, that's how you have to do this. So that's,
Okay, thank you so much.
yeah.
Michael,
Uh-huh.
can you tell me how I will pull out, where will I go
Where you go for what?
to get that data?
But okay. So you're going to go to ANet.
Okay.
Capital Elementary. You're going to go school performance over time by student.
Okay.
Okay, now you should, I'm not sure what you see because you probably just see your school. I have a lot more schools here, but
Okay.
I'm not sure what you
That's
see
good.
here. but this is 2022 math, engaged compatible, all teachers, all courses, all periods.
Okay.
And then I just want to, I just want, oops, I keep doing this. I just want your school. So I'm going to find your school, Capital Elementary, say update. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So then this is what you'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna put all this into a CSV file up here.
Okay.
Then you're gonna open that CSV file, which is
Okay,
this,
got it.
but you don't need all of this information. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna delete all of this because you don't need student listed or period, definitely, because you just need the counts, right? You just need the counts.
Yes.
And and really at this point, you all you need is to the this one right here, column K, is the student interim 2. So you want to filter according to this column or sort according to this column. But let's go ahead and delete these columns, these rows here. And so now, even though in Ms. Jones I deleted a lot of other stuff, you could leave all the student names here. I just deleted it so I wouldn't have to blur it out because it takes a long time to blur. So then you're going to go to column K, click on column K, then you're going to go to data and then sort from smallest to largest. So that's A to Z. And then say yes. All right, so now, oops, we got to go by grade level, right? Okay, so then let me go back here and, oops, did not mean to do that. All right, so let me go back here. Oops. So I'm highlighting all of this and then I'm going to go ahead and filter. So I need to filter by grade level. So I'm going to choose grade 3. So I'm just left with grade 3. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. And then it's going to paste in another sheet. Because I'm going to have to come back and do 4th grade. So I'm going to leave the first sheet alone. Okay, so now all I have is 3rd grade. So then I'm going to go ahead and filter. So this is network. So I'm going to filter with column K. So I'm going to highlight column K. I'm going to sort, expand, and now it's going from smallest to largest. So for your grade 3 math, I think this is math. I deleted some stuff. Yeah, that was math. So for your grade 3 math, remember column K is what you need. 8,
Yeah.
0 to 29, there are 8, and so on. And then I think what's on the maximum range of the next column? It went up to
Mike,
what?
I'm not K. I'm column N.
Okay, but on mine,
Yeah,
that's
yours.
because I deleted, all right? But
Yes.
okay, on mine I deleted some columns, so that's why it's now K. But on yours it'll be N, all right? But this is what you would do. So you just count whatever you need. You understand?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I got it.
It's a lot of work. So,
Yeah.
but that's the only other way to do it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. I was hoping you wouldn't have to do all that, but at least for 2 of the regions, it was done for y'all that I know of. Others could have done it. I'm not sure. And then Dr. Lassert's going to talk to her principals tomorrow. So I see there's let me go back to real quick. I'm going back to who's in. So let's see. Let me just look at real quick. All right, Nicholas Richard is in Dr. Lassert's region. So I would imagine that Nick, Dr. Lassert indicated that she's going to talk to your principal tomorrow. So I'm not sure what she's going to tell him about this particular slide. But if you do have to complete it, this is what you're going to have to do. Who else is in Dr. Lassert's region besides Woodlawn High School? That's here.
I am Michael.
Okay, same thing, Mr. Boatner, for Woodlawn Elementary. Um, she's going to talk to your principal tomorrow. I think they have a meeting tomorrow, maybe, but she mentioned Tuesday, so that's so tomorrow.
Okay.
She's going to
Thank
talk.
you.
Yeah, but if for some reason you still have to complete it, do you see what to do?
Yes, sir.
And it's being recorded, so I'll send this out. But I have to blur some information first because there's some student names listed. Okay. Anyone else about that particular slide? All right. Anything else about what you have to complete that I can possibly help you with? All right. So the I think one of the other things you have to complete is the average. Let me just go back and kind of see. Um, Here's the elementary. So y'all have a lot of slides to complete. Let's see. You have to do grade distribution, teachers with Fs, ANet interim 1 to interim 2 comparison. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Use ANet chart form sheet 1. God, I got to make a lot of copies of these. Well, that goes back to the ranges. Okay. Interim 2 comparisons by grade level. Did any of you complete this already? Comparison of interim 1. Oh, wait, it says here. Let's see. ANet interim 2 comparison by grade level. ANet interim 2 comparison by grade level math. One's for ELA. ANet interim 1 to interim 2 comparison.
So we completed it at Crestworth on Friday because my principal, I think she's presenting today.
Okay.
Didn't really have, I guess, instructions for that part, but we just did the students proficient
Mm-hmm. So you took the
because
average.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
just did the students proficient in those grades, and then students proficient for ELA, interim 1 and ANet. We
Mm.
just changed the year back to 21 and got that, and then just copied and pasted the charts.
They wanted last year's. Where's?
Yes. So one of them it asks for,
Oh, I see. 2021.
yeah.
Well, okay. Okay. All right. It was a so completing the second round table was a lot more work than the first, it looks like. Okay. Well, all right. So you were able to find that the um for so I'm gonna go to a different so this is Capital Elementary. So when you went by school performance at time by course, because that's where all those averages would be. See right here it says 2022 math right here. So this would be 2021. So this would be from last year. And you just got to make sure, see where you have a little drop down right here. You got to make sure you're choosing the right one. So from last year it was just this one. And then do all courses, then update. And then um, you would have the average of all the interims right here. Interim 1 from last year, interim 2 from last year, and then interim 3 from last year. For this year, you go to 2022. Again, go here to make sure you're choosing the right one. So this is engage compatible, all courses, and then let's do update. And then this would be the average of both interim 1 and interim 2. See, in 2021, there were 3 interims. So far, we are on 2. So this is interim 1, and this is interim 2. Now that's elementary. Now if I go to, let's say, a high school, just real quickly, let's do Glen Oaks High School. So if I go to a high school and I do the same thing, school performance over time by course, Look how it changes somewhat. So here's 2022 math, but then right here you have fall administration and then you have EBR engage. Let's see, I'm just going to stick on this EBR engage compatible and do all courses and update. So notice that here's a problem with, I don't know if any of you saw this, when for at least those with sixth grade in Algebra 1, those with sixth grade in Algebra 1, if you did the engage compatible interim 1, you're missing sixth grade in Algebra 1. You have it for interim 2, but you don't have it for sixth grade in Algebra 1. The other grades are fine. You have an average, you have interim 1, and you have interim 2. But for sixth grade in Algebra 1 is where that issue is. And remember, the reason for that is because, remember, sixth grade, y'all, there's illustrative math, and then there's Eureka, and then illustrative math has a different order, Eureka has a different order, and for Algebra 1, there's Springboard and there's Eureka, and those have different orders, and so there's all this confusion, right? And so remember the interim 1 where I asked y'all, and y'all did, and you told the teachers which test the students had to take, but again, when the students go into Clever for interim 1, they saw 2 tests for math, they didn't click on the right one, so they took the wrong test. And so what ANet had to do for interim 2 to correct that to where there's only one test, they had to create different SASs, so standards of assess, schedule of assess standards. So that's where there are 2. So for Glen Oaks High School, when they went here and then did update, they were missing interim 1, sixth grade, and Algebra 1. But if they go here to EBR Fall Administration, 6 and Algebra 1, and then click Update, then all they see is 6th grade and Algebra 1. But the problem then becomes, how are you going to get the average of 6th grade and Algebra 1, right? Did y'all have to do the averages of 6th grade and Algebra 1 on the data roundtable? Those of you in high school or middle school that have Algebra 1 in 6th grade? Y'all remember? Because, yes. Anyone?
We have sixth grade at Crestworth, but we just have sixth and seventh grade. So we had sixth grade last year, and then so we just we did have to change it to that one with the sixth grade, because I think at first they took A3 or something. I can't remember, but I remember we did have to change the drop down to get their information.
But did you have?
Grade.
But okay, so I'm at Crestworth. I'm gonna go to school performance by course, EBR engage, update, and so your sixth grade, see the sixth grade interim 1's missing. So on the data roundtable template, did you have to put in an average also?
No.
Okay.
It just none of it said average, so we just put in
okay. Well, then that's good.
That made proficient. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then you didn't have to worry about average. This is not going to affect anything then. The fact that you're missing sixth grade here, and to get to it, you actually have to go back to this and then update. Yeah. So that's the only issue. And then, like you said, you had some students. I don't know why some of your students took interim 3, but I don't know. Because you have interim 1 and then you have interim 3. All right. It could be that those were some students that took the wrong test, but they were supposed to have been deleted.
Right. Okay. I'll check with Ms. Greeney.
Yeah. It's like, oh Lord. Okay. All right. Any other questions? But that's what y'all had to do for sixth grade and Algebra 1. ELA is fine. ELA has no issues in terms of this data. So when you go to ELA, see there's only one drop down, and you say all courses, and everything's there. You have interim 1, interim 2, and all of the averages. I'm sure that for the third one, the data roundtable is going to ask you for the average of all the three interims. Okay, so keep in mind that average here, that's also important to look at because it tells you that all the, for instance, third grade ELA, of all the items that's on third grade ELA, or the standards on third grade ELA for interim 1 and interim 2, the school average here is 45% correct. And then this one's 30%, 52%, 30%. So the average does tell you something in terms of at this point, how are the students doing from the beginning of the school year to this point. So go ahead and make sure y'all are also looking at those averages. All right, any other questions? Okay. Anything else? Let's see. Let me see. There's let's see. Comparison. It's one of the ones that okay. So I don't see anything else in chat. Do y'all have any other questions before we go? All right. So next week we're not going to meet because Mardi Gras. So we off what? Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Well, so that'll be a
Yes.
great time. And then Miss Robert, are you on? Oh, you can't speak? I can't talk right now, though. Okay. All right. So I guess I can chat. All right. So remember last time you talked about the end of year fluency? We talked about that on one of our calls last time. Do you remember that? Yes, we are meeting on that as a team this week for dates for training. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're still doing the end of year ANet fluency? The training will take place after Mardi Gras. Yes, we are still doing end of year or reading fluency. Okay. All right. Okay. The literacy department rather is gonna have training. Only students that were tested in beginning of year will be tested for end of year. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Okay. So don't forget the other students are optional at school's discretion. All right. So Ms. Roberts just said that the other students are optional at school's discretion. So the only ones that will be tested were the ones that were tested at the beginning of the year. All right. So that's it. So I think that's all I wanted to mention to you was the data roundtable reports. All right, so if you don't have any questions, I will go ahead and end this. It'll take me a while to edit this with all those student names. Did all of you sign in? Let me just go back to the attendance. So there's 19 of you that signed in. Just make sure you signed in if you did not sign in. And if you have any other questions, I will end it for today, and then I'll see you in 2 weeks or do this in 2 weeks. Have a great Mardi Gras.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.